Hello, I am Captain Braggadocio, speaking to you from my secret location. Welcome to today's family-friendly content hosted by the Winnipeg Fringe Theatre Festival. Whether you are watching the live stream from YouTube or Facebook, or watching the recording afterward, we know you are going to enjoy today's lineup. Today, we have clowning, puppetry, and storytelling with Echo Theatre. Special guests Drum Cafe, Melanie Gull, and Oak Hammock Marsh. Have fun, stay safe, and enjoy the virtual Fringe.
Les minouches do Cappuccino. Minushawa. Les poissons alors. Minouche m'étame les poissons alors. Les tea. Minouche minikweyu le tea. Trop fret. Ah, les feux. Minouche quiche pour le tea. Ah ben. Que guay gato tak minouche gua. Minouche noctige teo. Que quoi est au toc minouche? Un potoma! Le palma! Un capoma! Minouche mie tamoma! Que guayoma! Un poisson! Minouche mie tam le poisson. Tanchi, petite poisson. Les poissons de Wayatam and bol. Ah, le tea. Voyage-tu? Voyage. Minouche puis les poissons, ai aš košua. Minouche puis les poissons, ni pau. Eccoci.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Winnipeg Fringe Festival Kids Fest. My name is Djembe J, and we're going to have some fun with percussion instruments today. I just love the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. It's always such a great time. There's great people, there's great performances. However, something seems a little bit different this year. I can't quite put my finger on it. Perhaps it's just a lack of pirates around. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Nonetheless, we're still going to have a great time today learning how to play some African rhythms on our percussion instruments. All right. Now, first thing we will need to do is find ourselves something to play. I've got a lot of drums with me here in my house, but if you're not able to make it over to my place in the next couple minutes, perhaps you will need to find yourself something to play. You can just have a look around your house. There's lots of possibilities. If you've got yourself a large water jug, those make quite a good sound. If you want to use a garbage can, although you do want to take the garbage out before you start playing on the garbage can. That works perfectly fine. If you want to venture into the kitchen and get yourself a wooden spoon and one of your mixing bowls. That's actually got quite a nice sound. Or if you've got some candies or something like that in a jar. That works well also. All right. There are a couple things I'd like to point out that do not work so well. I would suggest not using a glass bowl. Not a good idea, definitely. Something else that does not work well is a jar of peanut butter. Not a good option. No. So if you don't mind going to find yourself something in the house right now that will make some noise and not break, and then we'll get started. All right. Once you've found yourself something to play on, I think we're just going to get warmed up a little bit. You can give your hands a shake. You can shake them out. You can rub them together like that. All right. And maybe just to test out the sound of your instrument, I'm going to ask you to play something that's called a rumble. All right. If you've got something that you hit, like a drum, a rumble is moving your hands as fast as you can. All right. If you're playing with a stick or a spoon, hitting as fast as you can as well. Or if you got something that shakes, shaking really, really quickly. All right. That's our rumble. Okay. So let me just start off by asking anybody who happens to be wearing something blue. Let's hear your instrument play a rumble. Go! And if you happen to be wearing something red, let's hear a rumble. And if you're wearing purple, rumble. If you're wearing pajamas, rumble. If you had cereal for breakfast, rumble. If you had pancakes for breakfast, all right. And if none of those apply to you and you haven't had a chance to rumble yet, let's all right. Now we should be warmed up. I think I'm going to ask my technical team over there to set us up with some nice groovy music, and I'll ask you to just play along with the music. Anything you want to play that kind of fits with the beat is just fine. All right, technical team, let's hear it.
And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
All right, there we go. Let's find that beat. Good playing. All right, you can shake those hands out. Shake those hands out. All right, now I would like everyone playing together. I would like to get everyone playing together on the same beat. All right, we're gonna get some music going once again, and we're gonna see if we can find that beat on our instrument. We're gonna start off nice and simple, and then we'll take it up from there. All right, so have a listen to our music, to our rhythm, and we'll all play together. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, one hit. Oh yeah. Twice as fast. Get that body moving side to side. Everybody, good job. All right, it's coming along nicely. It's coming along. Okay, we're gonna keep moving here. I'd like to teach you a couple of rhythms right now, and again, using whatever instrument you happen to have with you. The first rhythm we want to work on is called our heartbeat rhythm. All right, and the heartbeat rhythm goes like this. Let's play it together with me. That's it. Whatever instrument you've got, just try and catch the rhythm. All right, good. Now, we're gonna make this into a little bit of a song here today. We're gonna take that heartbeat rhythm and play it 4 times. All right, let's do that right now. 1, 2, ready, go. That's 2, 3, 4. All right, keep that in the back of your mind. We're gonna come back to that. Next part of our drumming song is the chorus. And the chorus is going to sound like this. All right, one more time. to play the chorus once with a higher sound on the edge of our drum and once in the middle. Whatever instrument you happen to have, if you can get 2 different sounds, that'll be great. If you can't, no worries at all. All right, so the chorus twice through. 1, 2, ready, and. Now in the middle. Good. All right, that's the second part of our song. The third part of our song, we're going to play that rumble for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're going to go back and put everything together. Hopefully you haven't forgotten. Our first part is the heartbeat rhythm. All right. 4 times through the heartbeat rhythm. The chorus on the edge and the middle. And then a drum roll or a rumble for 4 beats. Here we go. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, and. 1, 2, 3, go. This is the chorus. And a second time. And then rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Great job, everybody. Great job. We're gonna add on just a little bit more to make our song a little bit longer. All right. And the next rhythm in our song goes like this. Okay, so there's our new rhythm. The new rhythm's gonna happen 4 times. The chorus again, and a rumble. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, and. That's 1. That's 2. 3. Chorus. Again. And rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. All right, I like it. We're gonna put everything together. This is our kids' Fringe drumming song from the top. All right, starting off with the heartbeat rhythm. 1, 2, ready, and. 1, 2, 3. Chorus. And. Rumble. 1, 2, 3. Second part. That's 2, 3, 4. Go. Rumble. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. There's our song. Great job. I hope you're able to pick up the rhythms. And yeah, I think that's all the time we've got for today. We're going to finish off our drumming session with another little bit of a jam. We're going to put the music on, play along, and have some fun. Feel free to move your body and have a great time. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again at the Kids Fringe Festival. All right, technical team, let's hear some music.
5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and.
Everly lived in a small village in a land far away. She had freckles on her cheeks and big brown eyes. She was 8 years old.
9 years old.
She loved to read and to draw pictures of birds. She was also a witch, but not a very good witch.
I'm trying, okay?
She thought magic was hard.
Magic is hard.
Everly's mother, Endora, was also a witch, the most powerful witch in the village. She could make flowers grow and rivers rage. She could speak with frogs and owls. Everly, on the other hand, had trouble even making a flower bloom.
Come on. Bloom. Bloom! Bloom, 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 bloom! Oh, just open already, okay? Oh, I give up. What's the point? I'll never be a witch.
One day, her mother, Endora, sat down to talk to Everly.
Mom, do we have to do this now?
I don't understand, dear, why you're having so much trouble. You're a witch. It's inside you. Don't you want to do magic? It would be just horrible if you grew up to be a dentist or an accountant or a lawyer or an IT consultant.
Of course I want to do magic. I don't want to be any of those things, but of course I want to do what you do. Talk to owls and turn the neighbors into flower pots.
I only did that once, and that was after they kept having those loud parties night after night.
I mean, honestly, Mom, they're nicer as flower pots anyway. But, Mom, I really am trying. Maybe I'm a broken witch.
You're not broken, Everly. You'll figure it out.
Maybe I need something to help, like a magic potion or a spell book.
Everly, you do know that spell books and potion books aren't real. They're just made for the movies or for stories. Your magic is inside you. You just have to find it.
Okay, Mom. I'm trying.
That afternoon, while Endora went out to, speak with another neighbor who had thrown some trash on her lawn, Everly headed outside to pick some mandrake.
Mandrake. Ah, here's some. I know it's supposed to be collected at midnight from a graveyard, but this is far less spooky. What's that Mom always says about mandrake? Twisted root, brown as a wren, used to turn things back again. Something like that. Oh, hello, owl. What are you saying? Well, I don't know. I can't do magic. Hello, flower. Might as well try some magic again, I guess. So come on, flower. Time to bloom. Time to bloom. Time to bloom. How about you? Time to bloom. Bloom, 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 bloom. Oh, nothing. Big surprise. Come on, magic. You're the worst. Okay, dig for mandrake. Dig.
And then she found something unusual.
What's this? A book? A book? A magic book? Mom was wrong. They do exist. And look, it's full of spells. Oh, here, well, let's see. This one makes you taller. Let's see if it works. Oh my gosh, it works. Oh, it works. Mom is gonna be so surprised.
That night at dinner, Everly decided to surprise her mother.
Delicious toad stew, Mom.
I even added some extra warts, just the way you like it.
So squishy, right?
Right. Could you please pass the salt?
Oh, sure. Here you go.
Thank you.
By the way, nice new flower pots. They're very, neighborly.
And so they are. I see you picked some fresh mandrake for my new spell.
I did. Oh,
Thank you.
Guess what? Here, I have something to show you. Watch the flower. Just watch the flower pots.
Okay.
And Everly secretly opened the book.
Petite fleur, comme un drapeau, changez-vous à une...
What have you got
Nothing,
here?
nothing. Just watch the flower pots. Petite fleur, comme un drapeau, changez-vous à un...
And Dora reached for the wand, but it was too late.
No! Oiseau! Mom? Mom? Mom, is that you? Mom? Mom, did you see? Mom, I did it! I did magic! I did it! Now, turn yourself back and we'll do it again.
But Endora, a sparrow now, couldn't change herself into anything. You see, a witch who has been turned into a bird isn't a witch anymore.
Mom? Oh. Oh, Mom. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh, Mom. What do I do now?
Everly had no idea what to do. She tried saying the spell backwards and even upside down.
Oiseau. Petit oiseau comme un crapaud. Petit oiseau. It's not working, is it?
She tried feeding the bird magic cakes. She tried playing magic songs. She even tried tweeting out a spell.
Did it work?
But the bird remained a bird.
It's not working, is it? Maybe this won't be so bad. After all, a bird is almost as good as a mom. Except when I need help with my homework. And at night when the bats are howling and when I just need a hug. What am I supposed to do when the neighbors are being annoying? The book doesn't say anything about turning people into flower pots. What if I accidentally become a doctor or a lawyer without you to stop me? And I have no idea what to do with all the mandrake. Wait, Mom! The mandrake! Mandrake. Mandrake. Mom, what did you always say about mandrake? Twisted root, brown as a wren, used to put things back again, right? Well, it's worth a try. Maybe this will work.
And so, Everly took the biggest stick of mandrake. She concentrated as hard as she could, and...
Mom! Everly! Mom, you're back! Oh, I miss you so much!
You know, I have this funny craving for seeds.
I did it! I did it!
You certainly did. I'm so proud of you, my little witch. Would you like to come outside with me and we can do some spells together?
Yes!
You know, that lawnmower outside is suspiciously noisy.
Yes!
I think this table could use another flower pot.
Oh, definitely.
Before Everly went outside, she tucked the magic book away.
I mean, Mom may get annoying when I'm a teenager. Doesn't hurt to keep this.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
What do you mean, I can't mow my lawn? I can be as loud as I want, and there's nothing you two can do to stop.
Well, almost everyone.
Hi, I'm Craig, and I am here at the wonderful Harry J. Enns Wetland Discovery Center located in beautiful Oak Hammock Marsh. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am here enjoying the beautiful sights and sounds of this wonderful wetland habitat that we get to share with you today. So I'm a nature guide here at Oak Hammock Marsh, and my job is to bring the fascinating world of wetlands to people all across Manitoba and beyond. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a close look at one of our favorite activities that you can do here at Oak Hammock Marsh, which is called critter dipping. So we are going to get a chance to explore the waters of this wetland habitat and see some of the tiny, fascinating little organisms that call these incredible habitats home. So I hope you guys enjoy going on a little bit of an adventure and seeing some of the cool things that lurk beneath the waves in wetlands here and near you. And I hope that you guys enjoy seeing them real up close, because we have a treat for you guys. Our microscope is here in the studio that is going to let us take a really, really close look at these ones. So without any further delay, let's talk critter dipping. I know I had mentioned the word right at the beginning. It is maybe new to some of you guys, but critter dipping is an activity where we go out with nets and buckets into the wetland habitat around us, and we sample the waters to see what types of creatures are living nearby. And what I love about critter dipping is that every single time I go out, and I've been doing this for a long time, every time I go out, I have a chance of finding some new, rare, and fascinating organism that I may have never seen before. So it is always a treat, it is always a thrill, and it is always very, very exciting. And today I've already captured a few creatures out of the water here to share with you guys today. So I've done all of the hard work. You guys get to just sit back and enjoy and see some of the fun things that are in the water around us. So let's begin at the beginning here. What is critter dipping exactly? I mentioned that it was catching bugs that live in the water. But if we want to get a little fancier, a little more scientific, I would say that we are sampling the aquatic invertebrates in the wetland we are in. And what that means is that we are looking for creatures, invertebrate creatures in the water. Aquatic means in the water. So an invertebrate is a little bit more of a complicated word. They're the creatures that we share this beautiful planet with that don't have the exact same kinds of bodies as us. We have a skeleton inside of our bodies, and one of the main parts of our skeleton is called our backbone or our spine. Now, invertebrate creatures are the creatures of this planet that don't have that backbone. Now, because of this, because they don't have to follow the same patterns that we do, they can actually be incredible, different shapes and sizes and colors. You name it, there is no shortage of diversity in the world of aquatic invertebrates. So, where these creatures live, as you saw behind me moving around a moment ago, they live underneath the water here at Oak Hammock Marsh. And so for us to see what's down there, we're going to take a quick little dive below the water to see what types of organisms are hanging out there. Now, what's incredible about these wetland habitats is that once you go below the water, you start to see that it is basically one of the most complicated little habitats that you have ever encountered. There are plants growing all over the place, lots of interesting little nooks and crannies for different creatures to hide in, and that's why critter dipping can be so exciting in a wetland. There are so many places for animals to call home beneath the water here that you can find animals in almost any place that you look. Some of them like to swim near the surface of the water. Other ones like to glide effortlessly throughout the rest of the water column. And some like to hide in the muck or the plants at the bottom of the marsh. So depending on where you look, you have the chances of finding different kinds of creatures with each and every scoop of your net as you go out looking for organisms underwater. So we have a couple of snails hanging out here. They are one of many different creatures that call this wetland home. I think that you guys are basically ready to go at this point though. So let's have a look. We're going to switch to my microscope. We're going to get a chance to see these things really, really up close. And we're going to start with something that is very small, but very, very cool when you zoom in. So my microscope, I have, you can see, a spoon. Very high-tech bug collecting tool. But this spoon has inside of it many little creatures all flitting about in there. Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of an example here, so I can put my hand under the microscope to show you guys just how big they are. So here's my finger. Here it is. Here it is. Beep, beep, beep. This is to demonstrate to you guys just how small some of the creatures that live in these wetland habitats are. Now, these little guys that we are seeing right now, or I should correct myself, these little girls that we're seeing right now are what we call water fleas. And I am going to zoom in a bit so that we can see them really, really close and watch them dance and move around underneath the water. Now, if you see these guys just hopping around a little bit, it's a bit tricky to see them when they're all milling around and moving like crazy. So I will get one all on its own for us to take a look at. But these little water fleas are a type of animal in the same family as things like crabs and lobsters and shrimps. They're something we call a crustacean. So they have a shell on their body, just like crabs and lobsters. It's a little different in the way that it's shaped. Instead of being a bunch of plates kind of all lined up in a row, it sort of has two, almost like a seashell that open and close. Between those two big pieces of the shell, those are their little legs that you can see moving around. And once I get the single one all on its own, it'll make a little bit more sense. But I thought it was fun to see them all swimming around and moving like crazy. Sometimes when you visit the marsh and you scoop through the water, you can get a scoop that is almost like you're scooping ice cream. You get so many water fleas out of the water that you end up with a net that is just caked full of these little creatures because they truly thrive in these incredible wetland habitats. But I have one all on its own. I'm going to zoom in on this one and we'll be able to get a much closer look at the real deal with these water fleas and what's going on here. Oh, that's so cool. I just love microscopes. You start looking closely at things in nature, and they are very, very, very impressive. So I'm just going to pull a little bit more water out of here so that it can move. Can't move quite as much. Water, when you're a very small creature, tends to be pretty sticky. So don't worry, it's still in the water, and it can still breathe and do all of its little water flea things. It just can't move quite as easily, which, makes it a bit easier for us to take a look. There we go. Got a little bit more water, and now we can have a super close look at our tiny little friend. Where is he? Where is he? Oh yeah, there he is. Okay. Awesome. So, that's really cool. This is a tiny, tiny little organism that could easily hang out on a piece of rice and still have room for a couple of friends to come hang out with it. But this little water flea, you can actually see basically everything that's going on inside of its body. From the little light kind of sensitive thing like an eyeball we see at the front, through its guts, there's its mouth over here, and it goes all the way through its body, and then you know how the body ends. What goes in the mouth comes out somewhere. It's basically water flea butt right here. And these are its little legs moving around inside of that shell. Now what's cool about the water flea is that it actually moves through the water using its antenna. So it doesn't really kick its legs to move around the same way that we imagine other animals do. The water flea flits about using its antenna. So pretty fascinating little creature, and one that we find in abundance here at Okemwic Marsh. Now another one, I'll bring this one under the camera. This one is a very cool one, and it's something that is quite familiar, I'm sure, in its adult form. But this little creature is called a damselfly. And we're going to zoom in nice and close on this damselfly. There we go. So the damselfly, oh, that's so cool. For the damselfly, for those of you that maybe don't know what a damselfly is, they're very closely related to dragonflies, animals that we are very familiar with. Well, it likes to move around too. It's going on an adventure here. Live bugs tend to make for a pretty exciting presentation. But the damselfly, it very similar to the dragonfly, it is a predator, so it hunts other small creatures, mosquitoes and other little bugs as it moves through the tall grasses here at Okemwic Marsh and other habitats nearby. The damselfly, however, is a little different than a dragonfly. They usually are much smaller, much thinner, a lot less strong of a flyer, so weaker flyers, and they actually are quite different when they are underwater growing up. So as this creature grows, it will eventually become an adult and hatch into the air around it. But for most of its life, it is underneath the water, and it has equipment on its body, or pieces of, or body parts rather, that allow this creature to survive. And so on the end of its abdomen, or the end of its long, skinny body, you see these three kind of feathery looking structures. These are the gills of the damselfly. And as she wriggles and wiggles around through the water, it washes over top of those gills, and this is how she breathes. So as she moves through the water, that tail motion, that swishing back and forth, is almost the same as for us going and breathing. So she breathes using the end of her body and is on her way on an adventure, it looks like right now. So this damselfly is living in the marsh right now, eating all the water fleas and other small little creatures it can find, and eventually, once it has reached the biggest size that it can, it will turn into that adult damselfly and fly off and join its brothers and sisters out in the wild. And you can tell that this one is on its way to growing up, because underneath its shell right here, you can actually see its wings developing. Let me just put it back in the center and make it a little easier for us to see there. But these are the damselfly's wings that are growing beneath its exoskeleton. So once it has those wings fully developed, the skeleton will crack, the damselfly will crawl out, those wings will fill with fluid, and it will fly off on its next adventure. So those wings are almost ready to go. This little critter, maybe even as early as tomorrow, might be flying in the air around us. Super, super, super cool. So the damselfly is another fascinating creature that we share this beautiful wetland habitat with. Now, we can't talk about the damselfly without also talking about its very close cousin, the dragonfly. And you guys are in luck. I've got a glorious dragonfly to show you today. And this one, like the damselfly, if we zoom in on its back, we can start to see these wings really developing below the shell. There are 4 wings. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all growing underneath its shell. So once this dragonfly gets a little bit bigger, it's going to hatch out of its exoskeleton, fly off, and start eating mosquitoes all over the place. So this dragonfly is pretty close to growing up and being an adult as well. Now, one thing I did want to point out to you guys is the difference between the dragonfly and the damselfly underwater. And in the case of the way that they breathe, it's actually quite different. So the damselfly had gills that it swooshed through the water to get air, but the dragonfly, it's kind of right behind my head right now, the dragonfly breathes using its butt. So the back end of the dragonfly, you can see these interesting little these 3 little pokers that it has on the back. Oh, it's going for an adventure here. Well, those little things basically surround the end of its body. They surround its butt. And that is where water is sucked up into this big fat part of the dragonfly's body. We call it the abdomen. And inside of that part of its body is where it actually gets its oxygen and breathes. Then, when it's done and it's taken its breath, it can actually squirt that water out of its body, and it uses that to move around a little bit underwater too. So the damselfly like to swim, kind of like a fish through the water, but the dragonfly is actually sort of butt-powered underwater, and it squeezes water out really fast and will actually shoot through the water like a jet ski. And you can maybe see right now little ripples in the water as it moves around. That's actually little waves that are caused by it squeezing water out of its butt. Super cool. Dragonfly butts, awesome. One of the best butts in the animal kingdom. So, the dragonfly and damselfly are, again, 2 fascinating wetland creatures that grow up in the waters here before they fly off on their next adventure. Now, a creature that grows up in the water and kind of just stays in the water is this guy, a snail. And we are going to take a close look at this little snail. They are a very fun little animal. They belong to a big group of creatures that we refer to as gastropods. And if you define that word, it basically means a mouth on your foot, or stomach foot, kind of. And snails are basically that. They are basically a walking mouth. They are a big slimy foot that slides across the ground or the plants or the landscape that they live in. And on the bottom of that foot, there are tiny little hooks, almost like little teeth on the bottom of it. And as it scrapes across the landscape at a very high speed, as you can see, this guy's just cruising right now. As it scrapes across the landscape, it'll actually collect that little bit of debris that's on the plants or the surface that it's moving across, and it kind of moves those into a little snail mouth that is right in the middle of its foot. So pretty good name, the gastropods, the mouthfoots of the world. Snails come by that name honestly. They are pretty much a mouth with on a foot. Now right here, this is cool. These are its little eye stalks. So the snail is sensing the world around it using these little almost tentacles near the front of its body. Oh, and look, we have some hitchhikers. Do you see these little clear things moving around beneath its shell? Well, those are young animals of another type. It's possible that those are tiny little leeches that live in its shell. So cool. So it's already made a few friends on its adventure here. Now, let's just take a closer look and see if we can get a good view of the mouth on this mouth foot. So I'm gonna take the snail out of the water for a second. I'm gonna hold it right here, and we're gonna zoom in and see what's happening in this snail. Oh, that is so cool. Look at how it just ripples.
It's got all these little beautiful golden sparkles and it has all this shiny slime along the bottom of it. Oh, that is so great. It just looks like outer space or something. It's so cool. So the snail, he's not really opening his mouth for us right now, but the snail's mouth is usually found right at, oh, there it is, look, his little kissy lips over there. He's got a little kissy snail face. How cute. He's posing for the camera. He's taking a selfie right now, maybe. So that little mouth right there near the edge of the snail's shell, right here, that is where all that food that it scrapes off of the surface around it is going to end up going. So the snail is a very cool little organism that lives right here in the wetland as well. And that snail is always working to gobble up extra waste and things that are left over from other animals, and it keeps the marsh a little bit healthier, a little bit cleaner. Snail also is a wonderful food source for many other creatures that are here. Ducks and geese and other organisms that thrive and live in wetland habitats, they use a lot of these smaller creatures to fuel their bodies as they go through their life cycles. So there are very important roles for the snail, the water fleas, the dragonflies, the damselflies, and the thousands of other small organisms that live underneath the water here at Okamic Marsh. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of the wild things that live beneath the waves here at Okamic Marsh and learning about some of our tiny little friends that call these wetlands home. Again, my name is Craig at Okamic Marsh. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Take good care and be kind to all the non-human beings that we share this beautiful world with. Until next time, take care. Bye.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's family-friendly content hosted by the Winnipeg Fringe Theatre Festival. I am Captain Braggadocio, not a large pirate, just a pirate at large, hoping you had fun and you'll be back again soon. Have fun, stay safe, and enjoy the virtual Fringe.